What's up, guys? Welcome to episode number 5 of my F1 2019 career mode here for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix today. We've had a ERS upgrade go on the car that passed successfully once again, so still without a failed upgrade so far this season, so pretty happy, but yeah, things could change very quickly, so let's go and get into first practice, shall we?
Welcome to the Baku City Circuit, where free practice for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is about to get underway. This is a technical circuit which will nonetheless see some huge speeds with a near flat-out final sector that's twice the length of Shanghai's back straight. Let's see who can find the right balance in their setup today. A lot of focus is naturally on the drivers, but it's really important for the mechanics to get everything right as well, as one little mistake could cost the team and one of their drivers the race result.
These guys are so meticulous and they train and perfect everything that they do. Without question, they feel the pressure in the same way as the drivers, and they share the responsibility to ensure that the car makes it to the end of the race.
I've had a chat with Carl about the new parts and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so give them a try.
Thanks for that one, Chief. Welcome, guys, to Baku here in Azerbaijan. Free practice 1. I believe we passed all of the practice programs, apart from tyre wear or tyre management, whatever you want to call it. I think we only got the green score in that one. So we didn't get the full amount of resource points, I don't think, but we still got a fairly decent amount. But I found compared to the AI, this is definitely an OP track for the AI. I believe this was actually my first attempt that you're going to see right here for the tyre wear test, and as you can see, that is not the way that you want to start a lap. And we have a second moment here in the castle section when we attempted the tyre management program on the softs. We just got too hot into the castle section and there we go. Hopefully we don't do that in the race, but in the end we managed P5 in practice run right behind Daniel Ricciardo. He was on mediums, we are on softs, so yeah, we've got time to find, but I'm confident that we can still unlock a little bit of pace. Obviously we do get the extra engine mode for qualifying, max fuel mixture, so hopefully that should just give us that little bit of extra boost that we need. But we ran through practice 2, I believe it was race strategy we went and passed. I'm not sure, maybe it was qualifying pace, I actually can't remember. I can't remember what we did, but anyway, we got through that, an extra 105 resource points, so good start to the weekend again. So hopefully we can have a solid qualifying and yeah, maybe squeak a Q3 spot. We're running with all new engine components this race weekend as well, so without further ado, let's go and get into qualifying.
The circuit has rubbed in with practice, but this is still going to be a difficult session for our drivers as they fight for pole position. Welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
Lots of low-speed exits means the rears are in for a lot of punishment. It's all too easy to spin them up coming out of a corner too aggressively. It might look great for us as spectators, as we love to see a car driven beyond its limits, but it's not going to result in a great long-run pace.
Alright, so here we are for qualifying 1. Was reasonably confident that we could get out of the first part of qualifying. I think this is actually at the start of the session, I'm not too sure. Lewis Hamilton, fastest lap, he's down in the 137s, so we're definitely not going to be anywhere near that, I would imagine. I reckon, to be honest, I'd be lucky to maybe scrape a 138 together. This has been a decent lap, a few mistakes. We actually tapped the inside wall back there, I believe. We go provisionally P5 right behind Devin Butler. I don't think that will last very long, and no it didn't. We've gone out again at the end of the session on a brand new set of soft tyres. We are actually in the drop zone right now, P16. Lance Stroll right ahead of us, Robert Kubica right behind us, so Williams are probably a bit too OP in my opinion, considering obviously where they are in real life. But anyway, this has been a fairly decent lap. We're going to improve by a few tenths. Hopefully this will be enough to get us up into the top 15. We're now down to P18 as we cross the line, but do we get out of qualifying one? Only barely. P14, but we make it out. Not by much, but we just managed to squeak out of the drop zone. Daniel Ricciardo off in P11, so both Renaults advanced to Q2, so pretty good so far. So as we come back to the garage for the second part of qualifying, and we have a fuel system fault. So we had to skip over most of Q2, which was really annoying. So here we are going out right at the end of the session, just going out for a blast on the last new set of soft compound tyres. Can we maybe sneak into the top 10? It's not looking likely, but we'll try and see what we can do. Devon Butler on provisional pole, surprisingly enough, in the Red Bull. But we come up to the line. Are we going to get into qualifying 3? I believe we did. Yes, we do. P6. I don't know what to make of that, because that lap wasn't really great either, but we get through, and what on earth is this? George Russell in the Williams, through in P7. Sergio Perez up in the Racing Point. Valtteri Bottas down below us. Sebastian Vettel. Charles Leclerc being knocked out. That was all really weird. But anyway, coming to the end of qualifying 3. The plan was to actually try to grab a toe off Valtteri Bottas on this back straight. And for whatever reason, he's obviously mucked up his lap, so he actually pulled out of the way. So that kind of ruined my strategy, but this lap, again, hasn't been perfect. 1 or 2 tiny mistakes. It's so hard to just hook a perfect lap up around here. You make one mistake and, you know, you're in the wall. But come up to the line. Where is it going to be in Q3? I think it's P9.
That's pretty disappointing, but we can
yes,
turn
it
it
is.
around tomorrow.
So we will start P9 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Decent result. Daniel Ricciardo pulling a magic trick up in P3. So, yeah, maybe there was definitely pace to find. We've been outdone by George Russell in the Williams, no less. So, yeah, I think that needs to be fixed, because a Williams definitely should not be in Q2, let alone in Q3. So, yeah, that's really surprising. I want to correct a statement I made earlier as well. I'm not running with new engine components. I thought I was, but I'm not. I'm still running with the old engine components. So, it'll be interesting to see how we go.
Obviously, I expected a better session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
We certainly will do. So, let's go.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Why don't we get things rolling by talking about George Russell? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Ricciardo, Perez, Devon Butler and Grosjean, Raikkonen, Lee, Bottas and Charles Leclerc, Kvyat, Verstappen, Alexander Albon and Faber, Stroll, Sainz, Lando Norris and George Russell. Kubica and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
The boss wants another points finish this weekend. Let's give it everything.
That's the plan, boss. But welcome, guys, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We have rain set in this race as well. That's probably due to hit just before mid-race, so that'll definitely spice things up, make it a bit interesting. Just overfueling the car a little bit. I don't do it anywhere near as much as what I used to because the Renault is really good on fuel consumption. So I think that's one area of development that we won't really have to worry about. But starting P9, or P8 rather, it's kind of right where you don't want to be. It's right in the middle of the field basically. Ricciardo obviously in a much better spot in P3. So could he somehow maybe pull out a miracle and win like he did in 2017? Is that possible in a Renault? I don't know, but you never know. Baku has thrown up interesting results in the past, as we've all seen, so anything can happen around this street circuit. But coming to reform on the grid now from position 8. Hopefully the main goal is to just survive this opening lap and somehow bring it home, score points if we can. If we could somehow maybe sneak another top 5, that would be absolutely unbelievable.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, awaiting 5 red lights for round number 4 in this F1 2019 season, and away we go. Pretty average start, it must be said. We go nowhere off the line. Bottas and Charles Leclerc trying to go around the outside, 3 wide in turn 1. Bottas nearly squeezed in the wall. Then he Kvyat on our outside, so we've got to watch out for him. Thankfully he doesn't try to go around the outside. Bottas and Leclerc still going side by side. Mercedes versus Ferrari, what we love to see. Just umming and ahhing on what I'm going to do here, I'm not really sure. Leclerc tries to stick it down the inside, but he gets a fairly average run, so we're going to now lunge up the inside of the Ferrari. Can we potentially take P9 back? He taps the wall a little bit. He's still there on the inside. We're going to try and hang it around the outside. This is risky. Leclerc is on mediums as well, so he's on a way better strategy. But he does get the move done. Covers to the inside. I wasn't really going to fight back into it. You don't want to be going side by side in the castle section because, well, basically all the time it just never ends well. It never ends well half the time when you go through their single file, as we proved in practice and Leclerc proved in real life. That is warning for exceeding track limits. First one of the race already, so we're going to have to be incredibly careful for the rest of the race. Cutting on to lap 3 now, and we've got 3 wide up in front of us. This is Valtteri Bottas, Charles Leclerc and former Scuderia Ferrari driver Kimi Raikkonen doing battle for 7th position. Leclerc trying to go around the outside. I believe he has just got ahead of the Kimster. Valtteri Bottas now trying to go around the outside of the Finnish driver. Raikkonen still throws it up the inside, mounts that curb a little bit, gets a really bad run. We're going to try and go up the inside. Can we get this done this time? And we do. Back up into position 9. Pretty decent start to the race so far. Obviously we have lost 1 position, but obviously up against a Mercedes and a Ferrari, we're not exactly going to win that fight, I wouldn't think, but Getting on to the end of lap 3 now, and it is already time to come in and get rid of these soft compound tyres. They feel absolutely atrocious. As you can see on the run into the pit lane, we had it all crossed up, nearly in the wall. And yeah, I really just wanted to get rid of these soft compound tyres onto the mediums. Now the reason I've done this is because the rain is more than likely going to arrive at maybe lap 8, lap 9. So what I'm thinking is all the other guys on softs, they're probably going to run for an extra couple of laps. So if we can try an undercut, maybe gain a bit of time and a few positions, and then the rain comes, we could actually be in a really good spot. But cutting on to lap number 5 now, no one has pitted yet. Devon Butler is out of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Looks like ends in failure for the Red Bull driver. So that's unfortunate for him, but on some level that's pretty damn funny. But anyway, no one is in the pits just yet, or actually scratch that. A few people are. Roman Grosjean in the Haas, who we have jumped, and this is Valtteri Bottas on the soft compound tyres. So he's obviously decided that he wants to be on the grippiest tyre, which is fair enough. We didn't have that option as we had no sets of soft left, but we're going to try and run with Valtteri here if we can. Maybe he can tow us up towards the front of the field a little bit. It is already starting to rain, as you can see, spots of rain on the camera, so things are starting to get a little bit interesting. Cutting onto lap 7 now, Ricciardo has been in the pits, as well as 1 or 2 other people, I believe. We're now at the P16, where there's a massive gaggle of cars. Bottas trying to go around the outside of Lando Norris. He gets the move done. We're going to go up the inside of Ricciardo, and Sainz as well. It's Carlos, not Lando Norris, but anyway, up the inside of Sainz. He really doesn't want to freaking give up the spot, but we get the move done. Double overtake on that short straight. How about that? That was absolutely awesome. I don't know what to say. That was an absolutely awesome move. I love that. But coming on now, a few seconds later, this is Valtteri Bottas passing Antonio Giovinazzi on the medium tyres. We give Antonio a fair bit of a squeeze there, but we get the position. That is up into P13. So at this point I'm thinking, do we try and follow Valtteri, or do we try and attack him? We have a bit of oversteer there as we come onto this long straight. Is an understatement. This just takes forever. But anyway, in the DRS we're going to try the overtake on the Mercedes. Are we going to try around the outside? We've pulled it up. Can we get good traction? We do. And we have overtaken a Mercedes around the outside. Get in there. What a move that was. I honestly did not think we were going to pull that off. Let's jump on board with Bottas for a quick replay. And here comes the Renault-powered Renault, blasting around the outside of a Mercedes on a slower tyre, and drives clean around the outside in the first corner. I never thought I'd be saying that at any point in this career mode, but there you go. Azerbaijan, it brings up strange things happen at this racetrack. And there's the proof. I mean, since when does that happen? But anyway, let's cut on now. Now we are following Lando Norris in the Husky Chocolate McLaren. We're going to try to go up the inside. This is risky into here. Oh my goodness, we nearly touch wheels side by side. Bottas is now having a look at us. And I believe the Mercedes, does he get back past? We mount the curb. But I think we just get away with it. Yes, we do. We just managed to keep Valtteri behind. That was so close through there. A little bit of understeer through there as well. But at this point, this is really getting interesting. It's almost at that crossover period. I think we are going to actually come in at the end of this lap in the slipstream of Lando Norris. DRS is still enabled, as you can see. But at the last minute, when I see these guys deciding to pull in, I decide, no, I'm going to follow them. So we pull in back behind Lando Norris into the pits now for a set of intermediate tyres. And as you can see, everyone behind us is following our lead onto the intermediate tyres. We get held for quite a while for what I presume was Carlos Sainz and Romain Grosjean, I think. So that was not really an ideal pit stop. Yeah, we are now behind Robert Kubica in the Williams. one person I did not expect to be behind in this race, so we'll have to get by him quick sharp, otherwise he will undoubtedly hold us up quite a lot, being in a Williams, and that's not the kind of car you want to be following through this section. But as you can see, Kubica is right behind Lando Norris, I believe, and is actually not really fallen off the back of the McLaren too far, so not doing too bad, Kubica, here in the rain. I think the rain does even things out between a few teams, but we get good traction on the Williams driver and we complete the move that we couldn't do on Lando Norris the lap prior. So once again we set off after the McLaren for the second time of asking. Hopefully this time we'll be able to get the move done, but onto the long front straight, overtake mode, rich fuel mixture, and we blast past the McLaren. That's up into P13, P12 now, 10, 11, or 11, 10, 9. Yeah, I got that all wrong, but anyway. Up to position 9 after a few extra pit stops. So looking pretty good here for the moment. We're back up into the points, not quite half race. Still a lot to play out, but as we cut on to the end of lap 10, we've now caught up to the back of Alex Albon. We've actually dropped Lando Norris by quite a bit. We've got a real good run on the Toro Rosso. We're going to look to the inside. Oh my goodness. Oh, Alex, he nearly thought about trying to fight back up the inside then. That would have ended in tears. That was so close to nearly going in the wall for both of us. But we managed to survive. Albon 9th, ourselves up into P8. Now we are behind Lance Stroll in the racing point. Told you I'd finally start to get over saying Force India, but anyway. We get a really good run on Stroll. Are we going to be able to complete this pass? Not really. He's still there. That's really close. Side by side. We almost go in the wall. I was going to say Stroll nearly put me in the wall, but I probably could have moved the car over a little bit more. But man, that was really close. Almost a race-ending crash for both of us right there. If I had have gone in the wall, but good traction on the young Canadian, and there we go. Up into position 7 on lap 11, so we seem to be really strong in the rain actually. We seem to have really good pace and really good drive. We're probably not so strong under brakes, but yeah, in general we're pretty good. Cutting on now, we're up behind Lucas Faber. Bit of a rear end loss, nearly, I think we may have just tapped the wall. Thankfully no damage occurs. Coming on to lap 15 now. We got a good slipstream on the Haas driver. Are we going to be able to try and make a move into turn 1? We're gaining. He defends ever so slightly. Good defensive driving there from Lucas. But we get good drive out of the first corner. Clean up the inside. He tries to fight back on the outside. Actually gets the nose ahead. But we should get better drive out of the second corner, and we do. There we go. Now up to P6 on lap 16. Lucas is still there. We're going a little bit defensive, just to try and block off any dive that he might try. He was definitely close enough to have a go then, but thankfully he didn't go for it. Cutting on now to the end of lap 17, so basically 8 laps to go now here in the Grand Prix. Still intermediate conditions. Won't be anywhere near drives for probably another 2-3 laps at least, but Sergio Perez having a look at Max Verstappen. We're going to go around the outside of the Dutchman. Can we potentially get Perez as well? Oh, this is going to be tricky around the outside. Can we get better traction? We do, and for the second time in this race we have passed the car round the outside of turn 1. And I believe Charles Leclerc actually just pitted for a new set of tyres. And Vettel stopped on lap 19 as we fast forward on to lap 20. So we're currently in position 2. Hamilton is in the pits as well, I believe, on this lap. He's going onto a set of softs. We're going to go onto a set of mediums, obviously, because we have no softs left after the, well, unusual qualifying. I think we'll just leave it at that, but as you can see, Leclerc, I think he must have come in for inters, because he's coming again, from what I can see, for softs. So, effectively, with 5 laps to go, we're in second place. That is... I can't believe that. How the hell have we made this work? But unfortunately, I don't think it's going to last on the lap 23. Charles Leclerc has caught us up in the Ferrari. Much better straight line speed. That Ferrari is pretty slippery in a straight line. Around the outside with DRS open, and we can't really fight back into turn 1. So that's demoted down into P3. Sergio Perez is now the next one behind us. But I think we might actually be safe from the racing point. I don't think he'll be able to catch us. So by the looks of it, we might be on for another podium. Was it Bahrain or China? I don't know. I feel like we've got a podium before in one of the last 2 episodes. I can't actually remember when or where, but yeah, I feel like we're on course for our second one. But coming to the final lap of the race now, and it's exactly that. P3 here in Azerbaijan, get in there.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
Alright, so there we have it, guys. That has been race number 4 of this F1 2019 career mode season. Hamilton wins a race from Leclerc and another miracle podium for us in P3. I think the boss should definitely be happy with that.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. How do you think Devin will react to having not been able to finish today's race? That was a good race for Lucas. Are you pleased to see him doing well? Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? You must be thrilled to be up on the podium. Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, thanks Claire for another annoying, pointless interview. Same old, but anyway. We are leading the rivalry against both our teammate and Lucas Faber, so that's pretty good. We'll get a decent haul of resource points as well, so we might potentially look at buying another upgrade before we head off to Spain, but all in all, a pretty good recovery from what was definitely a really difficult weekend, so really pleased with that result.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season. It's time for us to renegotiate your contract. Here you can see the current deal. Once negotiations begin, the team will make you an offer. You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
Alright, our very first contract negotiation. I'm mainly just aiming for a few perks in this first negotiation and keep things nice and simple for the moment.
Okay, that proposal looks good. It seems all parties are happy with the deal, so it'll commence at the next race weekend.
Alright, so contract value is, yeah, everything's been accepted on the first attempt, so all in all pretty happy. As you can see, we've got 2 upgrades coming. One for next episode, the Spanish Grand Prix, I believe that's a power upgrade. We've got a major weight reduction coming for the Monaco Grand Prix. We're going to purchase another ICE durability upgrade, because as you can see it's wearing very rapidly. But thank you guys for tuning in, and as always, if you enjoyed, remember, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff to stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next episode of the Spanish Grand Prix, I'll catch you guys next time.